Alright, in this video, I'm going to show you how to write the expression using positive rational exponents. As you can see, you have radicals. And what they want you to do now is go backwards. They want you to change this radical so that this is equivalent to just exponents. So recall this formula here, a to the 1 over n equals the nth root of a. So we were changing the exponent to the radical, so now we're going in reverse, change the radical to the exponent. Notice we still have the base of a, and that number that's considered to be right here is the denominator of the exponent. So here's how we're going to do it. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to write down what's under the radical. Okay, so what's under the radical? XY is under the radical. Alright, so we're going to say equal. We're going to put parentheses XY. Alright, now what I want you to do is consider what is this number here. This number, since this is a square root symbol, is considered to be 2. But we're not going to put 2 up here. Remember the formula. 2 goes in the denominator. So it's really 1 over 2. Right? Just like that 1 over n. So it's 1 over 2. And again, the 1 is over here somewhere. We don't normally write it because it's understood to be a 1 over there. So there's no point of putting a 1 over there. Alright, the next thing you're going to do is just use your laws of exponents, and we're just going to write this out as x. So everything inside of this parenthesis is to the 1/2. So that's x to the 1/2, and then it's going to be times y to the 1/2. And this is your final answer. So all we did was change this radical to exponents. Alright, let's go over here. The first thing again to change this to just exponents is write down first what's under the radical. We have x cubed, and we're going to take it to what power? Not 6. So if you said 6, think about it. It's really 1 over 6 because remember it was 1 over n, and the 1 is considered to be out here, or the 3 is considered to be out here in this case. This is the same thing. So when you simplify, it's actually x to the 1/2. Alright, moving on. What's under the radical? 4a squared. And we're going to put a parenthesis around all of that and take it to the 1/3 power. If we split up everything that's inside the parenthesis, even the 4 is to the 1/3 power times a to the what power. So here you got to do a little work. That rule is multiplication, so a to the 2/3. 4 to the 1/3 times a to the 2/3 is the final answer. Alright, I hope you're catching on. The first thing you do again, write what's under the radical, put that in parentheses. And then you decide what power should I take this to. It's actually 1/5. So when you rewrite this, it'll be x to the 3 times 1/5 is 3/5 times y to the 1/5. Alright, next I wanted to show you this because notice that the 6 is outside of the radical. So I don't want you putting that in parentheses. I just want you to say 6 times, but inside the parentheses I want you to say y squared to the what power? Because of that 4 there, it's going to be 1/4. But notice how I separated the 6. Don't put the 6 in the parentheses because that would change the answer. So 6 is on the outside like so. What's on the inside of the radical? Only the y squared. Now we're going to simplify y squared to the 1/4. And of course this rule is multiplication, one of the laws of exponents. So 2 goes into 4 2 times, and the final answer is 6 times y to the 1 over 2, 1/2. Lastly, we have the cube root of x plus 5y squared. Here again, I know that this looks more complicated, but actually it's not. You have x plus 5y squared, but this time it just has a plus sign in the middle, right? So I'm gonna, since we already have a parenthesis, I'm gonna put a bracket. It's still, this bracket also means parenthesis. It means the same thing, but the conventional thing to do is when you have one set of parentheses already, you just go to a bracket, or you go to a braces next. So don't worry about brackets or parentheses. You could have put two parentheses here, two sets of parentheses, and it's okay. Alright, but all of this should be to what power? Because of this, it should be to the 1/3 power. And your final answer would be parenthesis x plus 5y to the, you can multiply that together and it's just to the 2/3 now. So that's your final answer. Well, this concludes your video on solving radical equations, merging exponents and roots, and writing the expression using positive rational exponents.